morning. Good morning. When the partnerships team asked me to come and speak today in this intimate setting, I was actually really excited because you can help many Facebook products be better, but when it comes to Messenger, it's even more profound than this. We cannot win in this transformation and revolution that we're leading without you. So I'm going to take you a little bit through different phases of history first, because I strongly believe that at every major invention and breakthrough in how people communicate in the world, there has been a lot of opportunities for businesses to create value and profound societal changes. So let's rewind the clock a little bit to 1860, when the first Pony Express departed. And shortly after that, you had the first railway mail service that started serving the United States. And it only took 3 years for mailing, marketing, basically, to take off. And when you think about it, it created a whole new industry. It enabled third parties and printers and all kinds of different services to generate a steady revenue stream. And for businesses, it was a total game changer. They had a way to communicate with their customers in an unprecedented way. Shortly after that, in 1876, the phone was invented by Alexander Graham Bell. And it took a long time for the infrastructure to be deployed across the country, but by 1950, you had the first telemarketing campaigns. It was like very small scale, selling home-baked goods in local neighborhoods. And what happened next is history, because as you all know, in 1967, 1-800 numbers were invented, and that opened up a world where by 1981, total spend and total expenditure in marketing from businesses completely eclipsed mailing. So when you think about that timeline, it didn't take that long for businesses to adapt to this new mode of communication and marketing to reach out to their customers in a novel way. And I can go on and on by, if the slide moves on, awesome. In 1971, the first email was sent. And it took a while for email to start really building and becoming mainstream. 1991, the web was invented. And right now, email marketing is a $4.5 billion industry. And sending emails is technically free, so you can see how much value is created when a new medium is launched. Shortly after that, we had SMS messages, and the first text message was actually a Merry Christmas message somewhere in Finland. And shortly after that, in 2003, when phones were prevalent and SMS was a protocol that was used by everyone, we invented short codes that became a brand new way for businesses to interact with their customers, also a multi-billion-dollar industry now. But now things are changing, because everyone is messaging. Everyone is using a richer, more expressive platform to message, and Messenger is one of the most successful ones in the market. And when we look at the data, we conducted this study across 14 markets, and what we found is that 59% of the people said that they're using messaging apps way more than 2 years before and moving more and more of their conversations on platforms like Messenger. 64% of them across all age groups are saying basically that they prefer using an over-the-top messaging app over calling people, emailing, and texting. And 67% of the people, which is even more surprising to me because we're so early in this journey of transforming business-to-people interactions, 67% of the people said they prefer using an app like Messenger to communicate and interact with businesses around the world. And Messenger is a platform that now has 1.3 billion monthly active people using it every month. And they're using it more than ever. In 2016, we've increased engagement as measured by the number of messages sent on the platform every day by our 1.3 billion people using the product by over 20%. Messenger is a little different too, because it's an identity graph, which is the collection of the Facebook and Instagram graphs, and increasingly people joining and using Messenger without a Facebook or Instagram account. But it's always bound by identity. You know the names and the identity of the people you're communicating with. It's just not a phone number. And for people, they know who they're communicating with when they're interacting with services and businesses, because it's tied into the Pages graph that is such a vibrant ecosystem on Facebook. It's also a social and expressive platform. So unlike many other messaging apps in the West, you can create and build super compelling experiences inside of Messenger that are much richer than just text and images. So why should you care? There are 70 million businesses/pages on Facebook right now. Nearly 20 million of them are actively engaging with their customers every month. And there are 2 billion messages that are sent between businesses and people on Messenger every month as well, and that's up 100% over the last 12 months, completely organically. We also have over 200,000 bots/automated experiences that are now taking people through experiences that are richer and richer and driving real business objectives for those businesses. So I want to demonstrate a little bit, what's the difference, especially if you're looking at DR marketing and all kinds of different types of engagement strategies that you may be running for different advertisers on the Facebook platform. What's the difference between a campaign and overall interactions with customers, with Messenger, and without Messenger? So let's start without Messenger. And I'm going to go through this really quickly, so bear with me as we go through this little example. So first, this is Jane. So she browses Newsfeed as she is waiting for a friend to show up. She comes across a pair of sneakers that she really likes because it's a super well-targeted ad. She goes to a web page, looks at the thing. Her friend shows up, so she puts her phone away, and she comes back an hour later. When she comes back an hour later, her mind is elsewhere. She's now looking at hikes in San Francisco because that's what we do for fun over here. And that's it, right? You've lost the attention, the mind share of Jane at that point in time. And if you follow best practices and you have a Facebook pixel on the landing page and you retarget Jane 10 times, maybe you'll have a shot at selling the pair of sneakers. But it's hard. It's hard to keep the attention span of people in busy lives like we all do. So let's rewind here and see what happens if this advertiser used Messenger and had an experience on it. So back to browsing Newsfeed, great pair of sneakers. Now instead of opening a web page, I'm going to Messenger, and I have a personalized greeting. I feel good. I can read reviews. And again, this is opening a web view, so it's a very similar experience from that standpoint. Now Jane's friend shows up. She puts her phone away. She comes back an hour later. Now she still wants to search for hikes, but the tab is not gone because it's not in the browser. It will persist inside of Messenger at the top of the inbox. So when Jane opens Messenger again to talk to friends and family, the thread is at the top. She can just pick it up where she left it off and continue, but now she's not buying just yet. So a week later, she's at work, and now you can retarget Jane right there inside of Messenger. Now is actually a really good time for her because she has time. She had time to think about those sneakers. She really wants them. So she buys them, uses native payments inside of Messenger, and then she gets a receipt inside of that thread. Again, threads in Messenger are canonical. They retain context. So 2 days later, while she's grocery shopping, she gets another notification about the shipping notification, and she can track her package. And now, a month later, she spilled ketchup on her shoes. She wants service, so she goes back to that same thread and engages, gets great service. And now, 3 months later, that gives the advertiser the right to re-engage again for a new product. So when you look at all of this, it's the full cycle of consideration, acquisition, retargeting, and re-engagement with customer service in the middle. But the relationship that you're building with Jane now is so profound the brand preference is going to be so much higher if you actually use Messenger to do it that way. And it's like if you have competitors, like many sneakers company, Jane will continue buying from your brand because she has this great service. She knows that she can come back to that thread at any given point in time. She knows that you, the brand, have context about like all of the past interactions. And as a result, it's a superior experience that drives, if it's built the right way, much higher ROI. So by that point, most people ask me, okay, how do I get started? What do I do? And this is why I was thrilled to be here today, because most brands out there can't build those experiences on their own. They need help. And so what we advise our advertisers to do is first get on Messenger. So turn on page messaging at the minimum, or find a partner in this room and build the experience that I showed in whatever industry you're in. There's an applicable version of it. And then you can buy Messenger ads to drive traffic to it. And there are two ways we're thinking about Messenger ad. One is a placement optimization. So as you may know, we've launched ads in the inbox, and I'll show what it looks like shortly, and we're rolling it out. It's a slow rollout, but it's working well so far. And then there are ads that are designed to drive more conversations in Messenger. Take people from Newsfeed, from Instagram, and from Messenger and take them to Messenger threads. So there are many roles that you can play here. When you build an experience on Messenger, there's live chat for customer support. There's fully automated experiences, and then there are hybrid experiences that basically take people through an automated experience, and then when they need help, you can have a human jump in. And we have a lot of case studies that we're going to share with you. At F8, we also launched and announced this partner program, and we featured a few of you in this room at F8 last year. We're continuing to grow our partner program. We launched a directory in June that enables all of the brands to find the right partner for whatever experience they want to build in Messenger and make that easier. And so we are looking forward to continuing working with you and enabling that whole ecosystem, because we really need your help. So Messenger ads. This is like the simplest thing. If your clients or if yourself have ads running on Facebook and on Instagram, if you choose placement optimization and you keep the box checked, your ads will actually be delivered inside of Messenger's inbox to the degree that the user behind Messenger has the ads rolled out. And here are some early results from campaigns. So this is Network and Bidalgo that actually ran an app install ad inside of Messenger, and that saw a 36% higher conversion rate to a full install than the next alternative of not having it on Messenger. 57% higher conversion rate and 73% higher 7-day ROAS on this mixed placement. So it's early, so I'm not saying that everyone will have those types of results forever, because as you all know, when there are new ad formats in a place that didn't have ads before, they perform really well. But there's definitely a premium for first movers, so just get on it and leverage it and learn, because there's no downside for you to learn what Messenger ads can do for you and your clients. Now let's talk about ways to open conversations. There are lots of ways to open conversations organically. We have plugins, we have QR codes, we have m.me URLs that you can append to emails and everywhere you want, but there are also great paid ways to open conversations. So click to Messenger ads are now available on Facebook, on Instagram, and now, of course, in Messenger itself. And so a few examples. So Casas Bahia is a Brazilian company, and it partnered with Take to open conversation and threads for the Brazilian equivalent of Black Friday. And the results are staggering. Like 35% were completely new to the brand, 50% have a higher average purchase on their experience in Messenger versus their mobile web version, and 77% who received an offer clicked on a link. I mean, I don't know about you, but like, I don't remember running campaigns with 77% click-through rates. So this is actually really working, and now that Casas Bahia has an open thread with all of these clients, they can re-engage and retarget and continue marketing new products and new promotions. And they can do that with sponsored messages. Here is an example of a Jasper's Market ad, which is basically what I showed in the presentation with Jane, where she was walking in the park and she got a new offer for new products after having bought the pair of sneakers. You can do that with sponsored messages and use all of the great targeting capabilities that the Facebook platform has to offer in Messenger itself. So this is an example of a really good campaign that Love Your Melon has launched, a retargeting and re-engagement campaign inside of Messenger using sponsored messages specifically. And they had a 14x ROAS, which is, it's decent. 19% click-through rates from Messenger to the target web page that they wanted to get people to, and 15 cents cost per click overall inside of that sponsored messages campaign. So those are really solid results inside of communication threads. Now, one thing that I'm super excited about is that last week I was at Adweek and I announced that we are now rolling out messages as an objective inside of Ads Manager. And what it means is not only will it raise awareness, but it's also a way for our optimization algorithms to optimize the delivery of the ads to people who are the most likely to engage in conversations inside of Messenger. And the results have been phenomenal so far, and we're continuing to roll it out. So if you don't have access to it yet, please be a little patient, but in the weeks or a couple of months to come, it will be open to 100% of our advertisers, and this is going to be a game changer because you're going to be able to not only buy click-to-messenger ads in here, but also sponsored messages and manage your whole campaigns through that new objective. So there are many, many ways for you to work with us. Like, many of you are in the bucket to the right, which are marketing interfaces. But now that Messenger platform is available, and now that we have a more mature platform after many new releases and updates to the platform and to our ad products, we have a thriving ecosystem that is building. And like I said when I opened, there's just no way for us to revolutionize and change the world of interactions between people and businesses for good and make sure that no one ever will have to pick up a phone and call a 1-800 number again without you. We need your help because we can't go industry after industry, vertical after vertical, and build the right solutions for all of our advertisers. And this is very different than a traditional ad campaign where you traditionally land on a mobile web page or a web page that it already exists. All advertisers need to build an experience on Messenger. They need help on how to create marketing strategies to run effective campaign and drive their business objectives. And that's the role we would love for all of you to play. This is another major breakthrough in the world of communications at the scale of 1.3 billion people. So we hope you'll join us and reap all of the benefits and the upside that this new revolution will bring. Thank you.
Please welcome Vice President of Consumer Marketing and Brand, Tracy Keim.
Getting to know you, getting to know all about you, getting to know.
Hi, so my name is Tracy, and I am heading up consumer brand at 23andMe. I've worked for the company a little bit over almost 5 years.